This is the first of the interviews with our nominees that will be passed on for our judging panel to consider. And today I have with me Rebecca Fox.
Hello, John. Hello, everyone.
This is Rebecca, the famous author, who is nominated for at least 2 of our awards, and she's here to tell us about why she should win.
Not too much pressure then. So I guess I'll tell you a little bit about my books. I've written 2, I mean, they're kind of comic books, really. The first one is a collection of 12 stories called Murmurs of Doubt. It's stories and essays about people's experiences from all over the world of wrestling with doubts about the ideology or religion or whatever sort of construct they grew up in. I went on a big journey around the world when I was younger, and I sort of collected these stories, and I had them in my head for a long time. And so they're kind of based on reality, but obviously fictionalized. And they're all supposed to sort of illuminate aspects of the experience of what it is to doubt your religion or your faith. That was my first book. And then the second one is called How to Be Reasonable, which is much shorter. It's a primer on critical thinking. And it's basically the basics of Skepticism 101, sort of aimed at, I don't know, someone who is in their early 20s, who is interested in what all this critical thinking stuff is about, but doesn't have the basics yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of aimed at me, to be honest. It's me when I was in my early 20s. This is the book that I needed.
Yes. I know other authors have done that. Stephen Law, for example, he's a philosopher. He has written a series of books, the Philosophy Files, and he wrote them for a 16-year-old version of him.
I think it's often the best way to write, because you know yourself, and none of us are that unique. I'm sure there are lots of people who were like me when I was that age, so yeah.
So I suggested he go back in time, read it. And he said, that's one of the chapters.
Really? Wow.
Is time travel possible? So you don't just do books, do you? Tell us about some of your other things.
Oh, I do a lot of stuff. I have a podcast called The Seeker and the Skeptic. I'm the skeptic half, as you might imagine. I chat to my friend Kat, who is interested in spirituality. She's an astrologer. Got lots of interesting perspectives on the world that I don't share. And it's kind of like an experiment in conversation to see if we can find common ground and challenge each other's perspectives. That's great fun. And I'm also an artist. You
do painting, you do podcasting, and you do books.
Yeah.
A blog?
No blog. That would be one step too far.
Okay. But is the podcast video or just audio?
It's mainly audio, although we do sometimes do interviews, which we record video for as well. Mm-hmm. So I will interview Seeker guests, and Kat, my co-host, interviews the skeptics.
Right. Yes. So it's a reversal.
Exactly. Yeah.
The grilling from the other side of the table.
It's quite interesting. Yeah, it's been a really interesting project. We've been working on it for about 2 years. I think we've been putting out content for about 1.5 years. And it has really, I think when I went into it, I was just expecting that I'd make all the reasonable arguments, and then we'd have to change the name of the podcast to The Skeptic and the Skeptic podcast. But it didn't quite work out that way. She hasn't come round yet, which I suppose is good, at least for our premise of our podcast. But yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be Skeptic Squared.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to convert her.
Well, I think there's probably deep down I do want to convert her. But I enjoy the tension between our points of view, and I think it's really good to model the ability to speak to people from a different perspective for our listeners as well. Yes,
you don't persuade anyone by arguing with them. You have to discuss.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, because another thing that I do is I've made a couple of videos, YouTube videos about street epistemology. And about atheism, really. So, and street epistemology is obviously all about doing that kind of Socratic work of talking to people about why they believe things.
Can you link our judging panel to those videos?
Yeah, sure. If you go to howweletgo.org, you'll find, this is a survey of the atheist community. I worked on this one with Anthony Magnabosco, who's just an amazing street epistemologist. And the other one is also on his channel, but you'll find that on my website, RebeccaOnPaper.com, and it's called How to Change Minds. And that is, I mean, it's exactly what you were saying. How to change minds, the most effective way to speak to people.
Yes, Rebecca.
OnPaper.com.
OnPaper.com. Rebecca, that's brilliant. We've got lots of material to pass on.
Yeah, I'm a very busy person.
Very worthy candidate for nominee for our awards. I'll let you get on with all these things now, because it must be boiling away in your absence. And I'll certainly take a look at all these links that you've given me and enjoy them.
Great, thank you very much. I'm very flattered that you thought of me, or that someone thought of me to nominate me.
Well, that's the public for you. What are they there for?
Bye.
If you want to see who wins the awards, go to atheist-convention.com and buy a ticket for the banquet.